Respect, not your genuine love. Respect, pay straight appreciate time to the genuine ones only. Regardless if you dealt with trauma from a young child point of view, going into adulthood, dealing with trauma on top of trauma, listen, you got to give yourself credit when it's due. And I say that respectfully because, you know, what you've been experiencing within your journey of your life at the end of the day, you got to look at your reflection of yourself and say to yourself is, wow, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. In some cases, to some people, it could have been a lot worse. But when you chose your best self vision to show up, or you taking the time to get to know yourself, and you taking the time to genuinely heal, because God installed these tools within us: self-awareness, self-respect, self-healing, self-control, self-discipline, self-confidence, self-care, self-value, self-love, self-patience, self-peace, self-love, and healthy boundaries. When God allows you to see on a day for a reason, God was patient with you and God was tuned into you so you could see a reflection of yourself today. Regardless of what trauma was endured within you. God was not approving of a lot of things that was endured within you. It was not God saying. But God allowed you to see on the day for a reason, for you to be patient with your process. So you can have faith and have hope and understand that you need to believe in yourself, that God is in tune with you. And to understand the assignment within the assignment, that God is going to remove you out of situations where you least expect it at the right time. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations and we reevaluate our thought process and say to ourselves, dang, why did I put myself in this situation? To reevaluate our thought process and say, you know what, I just gave myself one of my own valuable lesson. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up or be hard on myself because I just put myself in a situation I can't get myself out of. But when I called on God, God guided me. I didn't just call on God when I was in trouble. I called on God every single day, just to guide me and to allow me to see my best self vision of myself. When people couldn't understand me, good day, bad day, misunderstanding days, when they overlooked me, they didn't take the time to get to know me type of energy. When you come across those type of people, what's genuine for you will be for you. Like genuine people that's going to respect you, love you for who you truly are. In life, we had a difficult time understanding that definition because everybody's not meant to be part of your journey. And even today, when you reevaluate your thought process, you're probably sitting around people who's not even deserving of your time right now. And I say that respectfully. That goes for family, associates, friends, a stranger you just met. And I say that respectfully because God places certain people in your life just for that moment, or God places certain people in your life for a lifetime. But you need to know the difference between who is who and what is what, because your value is very important. And know that at the end of the day, that having self-awareness is very important, because stopping yourself becoming your best self vision of yourself is only stopping God's plan that God has in store within you. And I say that respectfully. You got to remember sometimes, it's not about talking about your past and reflecting on your past. Nah, sometimes we have to stay in tune with our past. Not too much, but just to remember at the end of the day, this is not where I want to be, where I came from. It's not what I want to repeat moving forward in my future, for my future self. You got to remember, certain people was placed in your life for a reason. So when certain events transpire and replay in your head, when an individual comes into your life and they have the same type of motives, or they move in the same kind of way, or they show you that you're not worthy, or you think you're better than somebody, and they disrespect you when they feel like, when they have controlling issues, those certain people that come into your life, the people from the past, then He's giving you a reminder as you're still being put to the test. So God knows how to deal with you. And God knows that if you're ready for the next level, or you ready to continue to keep repeating the same old bad habits of types of toxic people. Because when God closes certain doors in your life for a reason, for them toxic people not to return back into your life, it was for a reason, not just for a season. It was for a reason. Because God saw all those personal conversations that they was having behind your back. And they weren't healthy ones. They weren't good ones. And they wasn't happy for you. They didn't want to see you elevate. They didn't want to see you become your best self vision of yourself. You ever had to reevaluate your thought process when you say to yourself is, you know what? When I don't deal with certain people, when God removes certain people out of my life, you don't even realize God is removing certain people out of your life. But when God removes certain people out of your life, and you ask for certain things in your life, like far as peace and certain, you want to become your best self vision of yourself, and you just start to realize, hold on, you mean to tell me that I could have been my best self vision of myself if I had entertained you? Now that's when you start to do the reflecting of your thought process and say to yourself, is you know what? I am worthy. I love myself, to respect myself, to have self-control, to have genuine self-awareness within myself, to know at the end of the day that I need genuine, authentic people around me. Not people who's going to bring me down. Not people who's going to stop my growth. Not people who's going to disrespect me when they feel like or have control issues, because don't nobody control you but you. In a healthy way. That toxic behavior don't live here today. So when you look at your reflection of yourself today and say to yourself as well, that job opportunity wasn't for me because of this reason. You know, you thought you was going for that job. You thought you was going for that job when you applied for that job application, and God had a better plan for you. Once you reevaluate your thought process and say, you know what, you're not deserving that. You actually deserve it more. Never settle for less, because God was not going to allow you to settle for less. Especially when God has something bigger in store within you for you to become your best self vision of yourself. God saw you when you was crying. God saw you when you was struggling. God saw you, God saw you, God saw you when everybody was discrediting your character, and you was just trying to become your best self vision of yourself, and you was motivating everybody around you. You was uplifting everybody around you, but they couldn't understand you. They just trying to repeat who you was, you're trying to just repeat your character traits as to you motivating them, and they couldn't get in tune with themselves because they couldn't think for themselves to understand that they have a real one in front of them. Like, they couldn't understand it. But you understood the assignment within assignment. That you never judged the book by its cover. You only allowed them to see that you can become your best self vision of yourself. You said if you understand yourself, to respect your neighbor, not to have malicious intentions. That's what the part they couldn't get in tune with. To go in the back and the forth and disrespect, because you was never that type of person to disrespect somebody. And God allows you to see your best self vision of yourself today. God allowed you to reflect yourself in the unhealthy way because it hurted you. But happy tears today, that energy hit different. Your past hurted you. But when you look at your reflection of yourself today, them happy tears that's falling down your eyes. And thanking God for being by your side, because you know what? When God allowed you to see the day for a reason, God was patient with your process. So when them happy tears fall down, those are tears of joy that you're not in that situation you was in. You're not in that situation when you was homeless. You're not in that situation where you had to figure out how you was going to eat. You're not in that situation where you're trying to figure out the thought process as to how I'm going to maintain. How do I deal with the depression? How do I deal with anxiety? It's overwhelming me. How do I deal with myself when nobody don't want to take the time to stand by my side, and everybody gave up on me? Nobody wanted to take the time to genuinely get in tune who I was. They overlooked me. They disrespected me. And they took my kindness for weakness. They abused me. But you overrided it with the guidance of God. And God allowed you to see your reflection before yourself today that you overcame that pain. And you still overcoming that pain because you decided to choose your best self vision first. Regardless if it was a toxic relationship, you was dealing with domestic violence, or it didn't matter. You put a name to your book. You put a name to your book. Being sexually assaulted, you put a name to your book. Dealing with trauma on top of trauma, you put a name to your book. Dealing with sickness, you put a name to your book. When God healed you for a reason. God was still patient with you. God was still on your side. God was allowing you to believe in yourself that, you know what, got your back, I got your back. But look at your reflection of yourself today and how far you came. You did it. You didn't think you was going to do it. The energy hit different. When you at peace with yourself today, you was begging for that space within to genuinely be at peace with yourself without wearing a mask. Be proud of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Continue to respect yourself, to respect your neighbor when no one else's intentions to bring harm towards anyone. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by the right people. You are genuinely respected by the right people. Never allow the enemy or hate disguise or person with malicious intentions psych you out your thought process, allowing your freedom, because you are worthy and you matter. I so appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Protect your energy, because not everybody's having your time. They would try to fake gas like you act like they're so in tune with God, and the whole entire time they try to psych out your thought process, allowing your freedom and your eyesight, and try to bring harm towards you. So protect your energy, because not everybody's having your time. Have a safe week. Protect your energy. To the genuine ones only. Naya, genuine love, respect. When you tune into God, you don't wear a mask. And never allow a child of God to believe that God is not working in their favor when God is allowing them to see that they are the miracle within themselves. It's called respect, baby, and stay in your lane. Judging God is like playing in your own face. Protect your energy because not everybody's ever your top. Respect, not even love respect.